Aaron Rodgers went off about COVID-19 on the Pat McAfee show today on ESPN. There's a compilation clip right here where it shows all these great things that he was sharing and frustrations he was sharing about COVID, about how governments handled it, even about the National Football League and the intricacies of them and COVID and the vaccine. We're going to check that clip out right here because I cannot believe that they allowed this to air on ESPN and on the Pat McAfee show. Let's check it out.
Everybody who dealt with the draconian measures, and that's my last point. Then I just want to fucking move on. But it's like people are always like, you know, why are you still talking about COVID? Like, why don't you just move on? It's ridiculous. I'm like, well, let's see what happened. They locked everybody up forever. It was supposed to be a couple weeks, right? They locked everybody up. Hundreds of thousands of businesses closed and never opened again. Many of dozens of people that I know in their 30s, you know, who poured everything into these small businesses and restaurants and bars and never opened again. So they lost everything. They're out on their ass, right? The wealth gap got even bigger from the haves and have-nots. They lied to us over and over. They vilified early treatments. They censored legitimate doctors in the space, like Dr. Peter McCullough, like Pierre Corey, Dr. Corey, like Dr. Robert Malone, who allegedly was there in the beginning of the mRNA technology, and so many more people than that. The Alex Berensons of the world, the Weinsteins of the world, who were like writing about this, talking about this.
Not hard.
Brett Weinstein.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was about to say, I was about to check you.
And had an informed opinion about this. I mean, they were arresting people who were surfing in California. They closed the beaches. When I don't know what percentage, but probably 60% or more of the country is vitamin D deficient. And, you know, vitamin D, you know, does well against the common cold, as does vitamin C, as does zinc, as does the number of home remedies that we all have. But no, stay inside, wait for this vaccine, which is 100% safe and effective, which they told us. So my whole point is, listen, they lied to us many times over. They locked us up. They closed our businesses. They increased the mental health issues exponentially. The rates of suicide went way up. And they're just like, they vilified us. The draconian things that, you know, ridiculous shut down, you know, we lost billions of dollars. There's no NFL owners who are mad about this now that we look back and go, oh, well, maybe we could have stopped this with a little like early treatments or like not giving remdesivir and, you know, a ventilator to these patients. Maybe like, you know, treat it like the common cold where you have symptoms and you start doing something about it. You treat it. And I have a problem with that because now people are just like, oh, just move on. Just brush it under the rug. It's like, well, I have many apologies. Not by that guy in ABC.
He's talking about Jimmy Kimmel, who has just been going back and forth with. That was a lot to unpack. First of all, I can't believe that they're even letting this be aired right now on ESPN. You see this logo down here, ESPN, Pat McAfee show. It's aired on ESPN. I don't know how long. This might not have been on ESPN, but this is within the interview from Pat McAfee's show, which is on ESPN. Because it's amazing that they allowed this to happen. Kudos to Aaron Rodgers for standing up for this and not letting it go because it was absolutely ridiculous what they let go on with the COVID restrictions, telling everyone not to move, you can't go out, penalizing people. And the fact that he's willing to stand on this truth and keep bringing it up, especially on a show that's on ESPN and he's in the sports community, it's impressive because of what the NBA, ESPN, all the media did to Senor Kyrie Irving when he decided not to get vaccinated. And the NBA was telling him he couldn't practice with the team, couldn't play with the team. His own team wouldn't let him come because he wouldn't get vaccinated. because he was in New York City, which New York City wouldn't allow people to participate in these sports games if they weren't vaccinated, I believe. But Kyrie Irving, got vilified and attacked by almost every major media person, saying he's selfish, he thinks he's better than science. And yet it turns out that science of how great the vaccine was wrong. And it was all just a BS propaganda push to get people to do what these vaccine companies and the elites wanted them to do. So you have the negative effect that Kyrie Irving got by taking a stand against COVID. And yet you have Aaron Rodgers being willing to do the same thing. And he's in the major media market of New York. Maybe it's a lot easier to take a stand against COVID now because it's kind of past. But it's very impressive that he's willing to do that, because this is not going to be taken lightly every time he sees the media, by these sports media companies. That's a ballsy move, because most people just let it go. Oh, well, it's gone, da-da-da-da. I got to give it to Aaron Rodgers here, even if he maybe does some other things that are attention-seeking. He's taking a stand on the COVID BS that happened. Hope you guys enjoyed this clip. It's currently at 400,000 views on Twitter. But yeah, thank you, Aaron Rodgers. And let me know what you think in the comments down below. Do you agree with Aaron Rodgers on bringing up all this stuff about COVID, or should he just let it go? You're crazy if that's what you think.